So just like in the last lesson where I showed you where we can pull out the error, we can actually find out what ID it was inserted at. And this is going to be useful when you want to return something and update or work with that ID. So if you've got some additional queries or additional logic that you want to apply to your code, we can actually pull out that inserted ID. And the way that we do that, so I'm going to just concatenate this method, and it's the MySQL so MySQL improved, and simple insert ID, and then this will pull back because con actually is going to contain all of this information. So when we make our connection and we run our SQL query, we've got some information that's being contained within con. So that's that object that we had created over here before, and we can simply query into it and get that information back. So also with inserts, we can keep inserting because we're not going to conflict with the already inserted data as we did with tables that are already created. We don't have to have brand new IDs for it because we're not setting the IDs, so this is still sitting at null. So when we do refresh it, because we're not taking any dynamic data, we're going to get that same information there, but we're going to be able to create additional rows. So when I refresh it, I got inserted 5 being returned there, and I refresh this and we see that this ID value is being returned, and from here we can identify this particular row in our table and then access it and apply additional logic to it as well. And we have all of that information when we go over to our php.net. So it's got all of these different methods that are available, and so we've got all of this information, so we can get insert ID there, so we can get the auto-generated ID, and then we've also got that error one that we had looked at last time, so it returns a string description of the last error, and so on. So we've got all of this great functionality that's available and just so easy to access. And those are the ones that you're probably going to be using the most, the error and the ID, but that's not to say that there aren't some really good ones here as well. So we're going to look into these in a little bit more detail as well in the coming lessons.